What is happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a quick breakdown fight preview for Anderson Silva versus Jake Paul, the boxing match going down this weekend. I can't believe it. Here we are. I mean, there was rumors of this one going down. I was a little bit skeptical. I didn't necessarily think Jake Paul was going to take the boxing match, but he did. Here we are. It is going to happen this weekend. So let's quickly get into this boxing match and who I think will take the fight. First, let's start with the obvious, like basic stats. So Jake Paul right now, very young man. This guy's 25 years old. I wouldn't even say he's in the prime of his athletic boxing career. Prime to me is like early 30s, like under 35. That's when I think typically, at least for boxing and mixed martial arts, you're like at your very best. And when I think about it in general, so Jake is 6'1", he has a 76-inch reach. Definitely a big boy. Right now he's sporting a boxing record of 5 wins, 0 losses, 4 knockouts. Within those wins, he basically fought a YouTuber, Nate Robinson, Ben Askren, and Tyron Woodley twice. None of those guys are boxers. Only one has striking skill, and that's Tyron Woodley. And Tyron Woodley's actual base is wrestling. But he was a dangerous striker in mixed martial arts. He has a ton of knockouts. Now, the criticism with Jake's opponents is that, yeah, he really hasn't faced pure strikers. He hasn't faced boxers. Kind of favorable matchups in the realm of boxing. But to his credit, he's a fledgling boxer. He's a greenhorn. So should he be fighting elites or guys that are good matchups for him? I got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, he took the Tyron Woodley fight twice. Woodley's not a boxer. Woodley is not a striker per se. But in the UFC, his method of finishing people was mostly via strikes. Still a dangerous dude, regardless if he's 40, close to 40 at the time. Woodley, however, wasn't looking great in his mixed martial arts career. He was on a string of losses, but he was losing to elites. I am going to give Jake Paul credit for beating Tyron Woodley. Regardless of what the fans think, you know, the Frozen One comments. Yes, Tyron Woodley is hesitant. Yes, he's not the same fighter per se. Yes, he's technically not a boxer. But I still think the guy's dangerous. Moving on to an absolute fighting mixed martial arts legend, Anderson the Spider Silva. This man is in those GOAT conversations. Him, Fedor, John Jones, GSP. Pretty much the rotation of guys in a conversation of GOAT in mixed martial arts, which is the pinnacle of fighting. Anderson stats 6'2", 77.5-inch reach. Anderson not a small guy. He is 47 years old, but he doesn't move like a 47-year-old. He doesn't perform like a 47-year-old. I think that's a testament to Anderson Silva's training, his dedication and discipline, and also genetics. The guy's just built different. Out of Anderson's 46 fights, he's only been stopped via KO TKO 4 times. I've always thought Anderson had a great chin. He's especially good at rolling with shots, taking the pop off of them. But with his style, and this happens with a lot of guys that rely on reflexes and speed, they're phenomenal strikers when they do have their full reflexes and speed. Take Roy Jones, for example. You could even lack a little bit on your defense if you're that quick and have great reflexes. But once you start aging, speed and reflexes are two of the things that go first. Your power kind of goes last. And it hurts you as a striker when you have that style, when you base your style off of speed and reflexes. And I think that's what was happening with Anderson Silva. His timing being a little bit off, his speed and reflexes declining, even by a fraction, affected his defense and his offense. So you saw a decline. But here's the thing. Does Anderson still have enough to beat Jake Paul? Not to say that Jake Paul's this phenomenal boxer, but he's a young, powerful kid who hits hard, and he does have some skill. He trains his butt off, no denying that. He has all the money and resources to be the best boxer he can be and to continue to grow. So every time this kid comes out, what version of Jake Paul the boxer are we going to get? What kind of improvements has he made? Just a big question mark. Little more insight. So out of Anderson's mixed martial arts career, 34 wins, he has 23 knockouts. knocking people out is the majority of Anderson Silva's wins. In his day, in his peak, just phenomenal, out of this world striker. And he has been training boxing for many years. He is not a stranger to boxing training or boxing. But you can't call him a boxer. Well, you could call him a boxer because he's been having boxing matches. He beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I mean, that was super impressive. That guy's a credentialed, legit top boxer. Not very top of the food chain, but that's a legit high-level boxer. At 46-47, he beat him. Wow. And looked incredible. Now, with this boxing match against Jake Paul, I'm going to say the raw brute knockout power. From what I see, I'm going to go with Jake Paul. Anderson certainly has power, but a lot of that is precision and timing mixed with his power. Speed, I mean, Jake Paul has natural speed because he's 25 years old. It's pretty explosive. Anderson still looks pretty damn quick, man, at 47. I think they're going to be about equal, to be honest. Unless if Anderson just really ages overnight and becomes 47 overnight, I think speed's going to be fairly equal. Technique, craftiness, even in the boxing arena, I got to go with Anderson. I mean, Anderson has like 5 times the fighting experience, if not more. This guy knows all the tricks, way better defense, way better setups, just a cage, and I would say ring fight general. Vet to the extreme. So there's nothing in Jake Paul's game that he will bring that Anderson hasn't seen or has an answer for. That goes for the footwork. That goes for the setups. The punch that Jake Paul caught Tyron Woodley with, that simple punch low, punch high. Good luck catching Anderson with that. I mean, there's so many X factors in his boxing match. To say Jake Paul has no chance, I mean, that's kind of crazy to me. Of course he has a chance. When you factor in Anderson Silva's age, when you factor in Jake Paul's youth and power, the fact that it's strictly boxing where most of Anderson's striking tools are eliminated, this fight is closer than what people think, just based on the current day factors. But I'm still going to go Anderson Silva 60-40. I saw Jake Paul panic. I saw Jake Paul gas in those Woodley fights. If Woodley just pushed down on the pedal a little bit, was a little bit more aggressive when those openings were there, I think he would have got Jake Paul out of there. Anderson, when he sees those openings, he will capitalize on them. He's super slick, man. Very good at not taking damage. This fight could play out multiple ways. I can see Anderson Silva via decision by just being more skilled outpointing Jake Paul. Also having a better gas tank. I could see Anderson Silva by knockout, brutal knockout, or technical knockout by just putting it on Jake Paul. I could see Jake Paul via knockout by Anderson playing around too much, underestimating him. Maybe freaking aging overnight, just not looking the same on any level, getting caught with a big punch. That could happen, and we'll all be in shock with our jaws dropped. That's what kind of makes this boxing match fun. I know it's kind of like a freak show match, but I'm definitely going to tune in. I'm curious. I'm sticking with my pick. I'm going to say Anderson Silva 60-40. I think he's going to be too slick, even at 47, too skilled, too much experience. And I think Jake Paul's going to get humbled a little bit. Props to him for taking a fight regardless, even against his 47-year-old Anderson Silva. One other thing to take note, Anderson Silva only has an 1.5 inch reach advantage. Negligible, not a big deal. Jake Paul's an orthodox striker. Anderson Silva, I feel like he's switch, but he's listed as a southpaw. Now, typically when it's a southpaw versus an orthodox striker, it's more off-putting for the orthodox striker because there's more guys that fight orthodox than southpaw. So you get more looks of like orthodox guys. Not so much with southpaws. With a southpaw, you got that lead hook. You can slip rip to the body with the right hand. You can circle to the orthodox fighter's right side with that lead foot, keep it on the outside, get that angle. There's definitely some challenges going against a southpaw fighter. But you guys let me know in the comment section who takes this boxing match and why. Also, who you're rooting for. Do you give Jake Paul any credit for taking his boxing match against Anderson Silva? Would love to read your thoughts. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Appreciate it. If this is your first time at the channel and you enjoy the content, hit that subscribe button. And the best way to show support, honestly, is to like and share the video. That helps the channel grow, gets it on the algorithm. Appreciate you guys a ton. Enjoy the boxing match. Once it takes place, we'll come back and talk about the results as usual. Take care, guys.